You're still holding on to it? How long have you been here?
Week.
But don't you have to go home to your family?
What do you think I come here for?
Touche!
Run away.
Have you at least learned his name yet?
Yeah, it's Popeye's chicken.
I like Little Nicky.
Popeye's chicken is a shit in it.
Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome! Oh, I love Little Nicky. I don't know why. It's such like a critically hated bad movie. I can watch it anytime.
Who hates the movie? There's a guy
Everyone.
who has titties on top of his head.
Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name is Arnes, and this is,
Still working on it. But today we're going to be going over the film Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla, or as you may also know as Godzilla vs. the Cosmic Monster, or the Bionic Monster, because they didn't know exactly what MechaGodzilla was. Even
Too
in the
many
movie,
names.
I think they consider him a cyborg. At least in the dubbed. I watched the dub because I only have it on VHS. But essentially for the premise of this film, which is slightly confusing at the beginning,
I didn't know what the heck was going on when I first...
but to pretty much sum it up, aliens from the planet in the black hole, I think it's the third planet in the black hole, come to Earth, want to take it over, again, like all the other things we've seen previously. So they developed the cyborg MechaGodzilla to do it. But they have to stop this other monster from being risen, King Ceasar. Because he's a threat. You wouldn't think it watching this movie, but he's a fudging threat. And people try to stop them. So does Godzilla. God, I am great at these plot synopses, aren't I? Anyways, for the plot. I like it. What about you? Don't give me that look.
I already told you before we started this. No, you know what? No. I'm not stooping to your level. No.
No, you gotta tell them your opinions, man. That's why you're here. No! Papa!
Okay, so the movie starts, and the MechaGodzilla shows up, and I was proud of myself. I was like, that's not Godzilla. And I was right. I was like, woo! Finally starting to get these things.
Yeah, because initially at the beginning of the movie, there's a prophecy that the world's gonna end because a monster's gonna show up and wreck face. And the monster that shows up is Godzilla. Dun dun dun.
But they were wrong.
Yeah, which is actually MechaGodzilla in disguise. Which, when I was a kid, I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. Like, it was awesome. I still think it's cool today. Because it's like Terminator Godzilla. Even with the reveal, like, it's amazing. Anyways, continue. It's your opinion.
Anyway, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I was like, I'm starting, catch on to these movies.
Yep.
And then that, my favorite monster shows up with his...
Anguirus?
Yes, he shows up. Guy kicks his ass.
Yeah, like, Anguirus gets, like, one good shot, and that's when you kind of get the reveal that Godzilla's not what he appears to be.
Yeah. He whoops him. I was like, yes, MechaGodzilla's my hero. I was like, we're going down the right path.
Oh yeah, he even tries to do the kiss of death, but he can't quite do it.
Yeah.
Which is the first sign of this movie is slightly more on the violent side.
Which I was okay with. I was like, we're starting to get into good stuff.
Oh, but I felt so bad when he was doing it, because he's like pulling his mouth apart. There's actually like blood spewing out in between his mouth. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, no! They're killing him!
I was fine with this scene. I was like, yeah, finally getting into good stuff. We're going down the road. And then it reveals what the aliens were. And I was like, I'm done.
Man, we passed so many things.
It's just, I'm not going to sit here and explain the whole movie. Too many spoilers. But I'm just going to jump right to the thing that killed this movie for me.
Spoiler. But
as soon as I seen that, I text Steve. I was like, Steve, what year did Aliens come out? Steve was like, I believe somewhere in 70s.
It's like late 70s. I want to say 79.
And I was like, okay. I was like, you know what, Steve? I'm done with this movie. I was okay with the roaches. The robot women.
Robot women were sweet.
I was like, okay, it's like they're trying to involve their imagination. I was like, even the roaches were like horrible, but okay. And it went to monkeys.
I think they're apes, thank you.
Give
It
me a...
looks like the Planet of the Apes. Well, sorry, it's not as quite as good as what the Planet of the Apes prosthetics looked. But
1970s. the Alien movie were made. You see the imagination that went into that?
Well, that was slightly later. This is 1974.
No. You cannot
Also, how much more of a budget did Alien have over Godzilla versus MechaGodzilla?
Exactly what we're getting into here. These Godzilla movies, they're just pumping this crap out in like weeks.
Well, yeah, because it's mainly meant for a younger audience, so you don't need...
No, they're being too freaking stingy. Toho Company was just like, oh man, we gotta pump these movies out like babies. Let's do this.
Well, yeah, gotta make money.
So they're just putting this crap out. No imagination whatsoever. I mean, look at the Aliens Alien. That thing looks fantastic. Like, it's got some great ideas into it. They were just like, let's just put the Planet of the Apes hat on this guy and call it a day. The rubber mask and just put this out. It's fine.
I also like when they like became their like gorilla form that they actually didn't have no English anymore.
Yeah, they just forgot everything. Yeah.
Like a shot. He's like, it goes over the boat.
No, I was like done.
No, you know, that didn't really bother me nearly as much. But then again, I kind of grew up with these older movies, so I'm fine with it. Like, even for like back then, it wasn't even that bad.
You know what's the first horror movie I saw? Aliens. Legit horror movie was Aliens.
You know what the first horror movie I seen was?
Your Mom Naked?
Oh. Okay, that'd be slightly more terrifying. But my first horror movie was the film Critters. With the Krites. Which is an awesome movie, by the way. I don't even care if people hate it. Like, I think the movie's awesome.
I would have to see like first.
Well, anyway, I'll go. Okay, Critters. What happens is these aliens come to Earth, and then these space bounty hunters have to come and kill them. And they like make eggs and everything. And what they are these little fuzz balls with teeth. And they pretty much like run rampant in this like farm town, and they end up taking over like this entire farm. Like the family has to deal with them. It's actually kind of funny because it's more like it's kind of the same vein as like Gremlins, where it's like it's supposed to be scary, but it's also really funny at times. Like they even talk to each other. They eat E.T.
I need to see this.
Oh, it's amazing. The second one, like one of the bounty hunters, because like they could scan people, and then they could become whoever they want. Like in the first one guy becomes like a rock star. They're like walking around town. They're like, oh, as he's blowing up shit. But the second guy goes from being like the town officer to like a big boot chick from Playboy. He's like, let's do this, and just like wearing nothing and with a giant cannon.
Terminator 3?
Kinda. Anyways, we're talking way too much about Critters.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I can understand like a bad horror movie. Then you got Alien, which is like a masterpiece.
Yes, exactly.
This is not what I would consider a masterpiece. Okay?
I am tired of Toho putting out crap in weeks. I was okay. MechaGodzilla looks amazing. I was actually looking forward to this movie. Maybe it's why I'm so pissed. I was actually excited because it's starting to sound like getting good shit. 1970s should be a little better graphics. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like the production value is a little bit more up there.
Yeah.
But then again, like the grills could have been a little bit cooler.
No, these guys have no imagination. I was like, okay with the roaches. I was like, oh god.
But the MechaGodzilla show, like, had the reveal for him was really awesome. How can you say they were no imagination? When Godzilla shows up to fight MechaGodzilla for the first time, he comes out of a building. How'd he get in that building?
Steve, you're proving my point. You're proving my point here, Steve. Exactly.
Well, like, there's so many. Like, I remember when I was a kid watching this film, and you have like MechaGodzilla, like. When he arrives to like the industrial park and like starts wrecking everything's exploding. Then Godzilla shows up, and then they have their confrontation. And more of like MechaGodzilla's like skin's falling off, and then they finally decide to do their big reveal. And they're just like, I guess we'll show them what MechaGodzilla truly looks like. And then like there's like the flash of light that like comes up and down and reveals MechaGodzilla is like da da da, zooming on like the hands and the feet and everything. And I was just like, yes.
Oh no! There's more what I'm pissed off about. And then Godzilla get his butt whooped. He falls in the water. He comes up.
There's like blood in the water too, like churning up. But MechaGodzilla gets destroyed. He messes up his head unit, yet they can still get him home.
You interrupted me before I could get the good part. And then like he just appears on this island out of nowhere. There's lightning in the background, and he gets struck by lightning, and he's like, power up!
Well, yeah, like we already learned in Godzilla vs. Hedorah that lightning doesn't bother him. So what better way than make him even more like King Kong and have him get strength from lightning storms?
I am pretty sure his weakness is lightning. From all the previous
Yeah, in
movies,
like the previous Showa era. But once we got to destroy all monsters, it's kind of a new Godzilla.
I'm done. I'm leaving. Give me my toys. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's my guy again. You haven't even said his name yet.
No. It was so stupid. He's like, I'm going to level up with this electricity.
But
And, oh man, science explains everything. I use magnetic powers now.
And then you need to stop throwing around my American guy game. He's a collectible. He is a collectible. But we haven't even got to the best parts of this movie yet. Because eventually they figure out how to summon King Ceasar. And then they have your favorite thing that happens in these movies, the singing.
Okay, you know what? Okay. I'll give him that old guy. He completely redeemed the movie, like 2% for him. That was the most stereotyped Chinese, Japanese guy, whatever I've ever seen.
I'll give you that. And then they hold him hostage. He's like, it's your fault! And then they like rescue him. He's like, okay, you guys are sweet. You guys are fine. And then they do the epic singing. And then they do the singing again. Because he went rise. So once they do the singing, they send MechaGodzilla in order to try to stop King Ceasar from rising. And then King Ceasar rises like, oh, I guess we'll just take him out. And they pretty much do. Like, there's a pretty cool fight at the beginning between him and King Ceasar, where King Ceasar can use his eyes to reflect MechaGodzilla's laser beams. He does like some kung fu moves too. As you can see, because again, this stuff kind of becomes more of a wrestling kind of thing than just monsters fighting. And then Godzilla shows up, and then they both have to take on MechaGodzilla, but MechaGodzilla is just too powerful for them. With his spinning head thing that makes like the barrier where you can't get through, and you can shoot from front and back, and Godzilla starts bleeding, and then he hits some missiles, and then Godzilla beats him. In the best way ever, too. Which is, I guess, is my one complaint about this, is the fight kind of just ends eventually. Because they're like, okay, MechaGodzilla's flying around, he's like attacking Godzilla, Godzilla's like spraying blood and everything. And then Godzilla, using the powers he acquired from the lightning, from God, mind you, pretty much becomes a giant magnet and uses the force in order to bring MechaGodzilla into him. Which at the same time, too, like, they have like power poles flying into Godzilla, sticking to him. Which I thought was a really awesome touch, mind you. Good job, Toho. And then,
why don't you give him good job, Toho?
And then MechaGodzilla, he sucks in MechaGodzilla, and then proceeds to rip off MechaGodzilla's head. As King Ceasar is also like banging into him at the same time. Even though we've seen MechaGodzilla's head actually literally spin around. Yeah, Godzilla's still able just to rip that sumbitch off.
Oh, hey, that's a good reference to our piggy bank one, you know.
Why do you think I did that? God. He's like, I thought we were just doing it because the head popped off. So for the plot, it's okay for the most part. What really makes this movie special is pretty much
that you like
the kaijus. Well, that I still like it. But the plot is a little bit disheveled at times because, like, at the beginning, it's not quite made predominant that there's actually aliens. Because they're like, he finds like a space medal at the scene, and he's like, "Oh, that's space medal. Must be from spacemen."
Yeah,
and then also like, they're spacemen.
Yeah, that's like.
And then they like whenever they try to actually like go take the statue that's the actual key that they found, they only send like 1 or 2 guys.
Well, yeah. Everybody else has got to stay at the home base.
Yeah, and then they fail. They fail a lot in this movie. Like, these guys are really pet aliens. Although
just like their costumes.
Yeah. Moving on to the costumes, though, we have MechaGodzilla, Anguirus, Godzilla, and King Ceasar.
I was okay with MechaGodzilla and Godzilla. Everything else was garbage.
Oh, I was actually going to say, I think King Ceasar and MechaGodzilla are actually probably the best looking things. Like, MechaGodzilla is freaking awesome looking. There's not really a whole much to talk about there because everybody loves that MechaGodzilla. He looks awesome. He's so awesome that he has his name initials on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that stuff tattooed.
Guy's amazing.
Yeah, he has like all this weaponry. It takes 2 monsters to beat him. Then we have King Ceasar, which I think looks cool. And I also love how like his ears go up and everything.
That was stupid.
You're stupid.
Your face stupid. He was like, "What you puppy?" I was just waiting for somebody to throw a stick for him to go fetch it.
Yeah, it's just the guy just grabs a tree, throws it. He's like, "And I'm off."
So I thought he was going to defeat him. I swear to God, when I was watching this, I was just waiting for somebody to grab a stick and throw it, and he'd just be run off after it, and I'm like, "That's it. That's the end of the
That'd be
movie."
hilarious. Although I do like when they're fighting, like MechaGodzilla's like shoving his hand into his mouth. He's like, "Eat it." I'm like, I don't think that's a good tactic. Shut up. And then we have Godzilla, which overall looks pretty good. Yeah, not bad. This is pretty much this show of Godzilla. There's not really a whole lot I can really talk about in these ones that we haven't really talked about in previous Godzilla movies. He's just he's cool looking. I personally like him.
Oh, that reminds me. I was watching the movie and Courtney's walking by, and she walked by at the perfect time because the Ingress, you know how he's like all, you can see it's a guy crawling.
Yeah.
And like I paused the movie to answer my phone because somebody called me, and he was on all four and a MechaGodzilla standing behind him, and it just looked like it was wrong. Courtney walks by and she walks backwards. She's like, "What are you watching?" And like it was perfect pause because he was like on all four, and the MechaGodzilla was behind him with like hands on like back of him. And yeah, you can just
Angus gets messed up in this.
You can just imagine what it'll look like.
Angus is probably still the worst looking suit in this movie. Definitely not bad though. It's pretty much the way he's been looking for pretty much the entirety of his show or run, except for the 55 version.
The 1955 one was the best one.
I personally think so. It's the reason why I have the X Plus.
Because he evolves. Cool. He opens his back, and the human comes out and everything.
Yeah, no. What happens is his back opens up, and that's how we get the 60s Angus. It's metamorphosis.
Science!
Woo! And then moving on to the props. This movie is amazing in terms of props. Like the set pieces, all the costumes, all the beam effects, all the missiles.
Did you just say all the costumes?
Even when he rips off his head and the explosions.
You said all the costumes, didn't you?
And then we also have like the space, like with their little underground laboratory control center thing. Awesome too.
With the hidden button, he's like, "What?"
Yes. I like the handcuffs where the guy literally just like breaks his watch off and unlocks the cuffs because they're so amazing.
But they're alien handcuffs, man. It works.
I know, right? You'd totally be able to unlock those things with random stuff.
Yeah,
I just don't really like how the guy had like, he's like, "Man, I made this pipe to like interrupt magnetic frequencies and stuff. It's so convenient that the monster's also controlled by these things."
Yeah. You can see what my issues are with this movie.
Science. The thing for these.
So 70s.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much like there's no explanation of why stuff's happening.
It just is.
It just happens. They just have the right stuff at the right time. It's okay. Just go with it.
Can we end this movie now, please?
Fine. So for this movie, I actually personally really love this movie. Even though the plot can be a little bit confusing at times, the monster fights and the costumes more than make up for it. I don't care what you say.
You said
more than make up
again.
for it.
That's implying that you are okay with the gorilla suits.
I was okay with the gorilla suits. Or masks, I should say, because they don't really have like full body suits. Also, one thing I love too
that's not
is...
true. There's that one guy with the hand. There's that
Oh,
gorilla
yeah,
hand.
okay, yeah, there's the hand. But when they got shot, like there's like black spray, blood sprays out. It's like... Oh, that's amazing.
That was a lot of it, too.
Oh, yeah, you get a ton. Like, you get it from Godzilla, you get it from Anguirus, you get like, the blood in the water. Like, this movie is violent, which is something that's really cool for the Showa line.
You want to know my opinion about this movie?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
I think you already stated your opinion enough. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm just tired.
Why do you guys love him?
I'm just tired of this damn cheap Toho crap. Like I can't believe it. They're pumping these movies out in weeks. Like I can see. Trust me.
Well, Megalon I think was made in 3 weeks. This one took longer.
3 weeks. God, it's horrible.
You gotta make money. I think they did a pretty good job on this one when you compare it to some of the other Showa line movies, like with Sea Monster, Revenge.
Don't you diss Sea Monster? What a great movie.
What did you guys think of Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla? Please let us know in the comments section below what you guys thought of that movie. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Subscribe to become a Ranger today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.